There we are.
Hi, I think we're live now. Thanks for joining us, hanging out with Mimi every Wednesday at 4 p.m. I'm Mira.
I'm Becca.
And this week we have a guest with us, Chris Riegger from Heyo. Everyone,
Heyo.
welcome, Chris.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. Good to be with you.
What's up?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Today we're going to talk about social media and sort of a lot of other stuff around there. But first, I'd like, Chris, can you introduce us to Heyo and what you guys do?
Yeah, I'd be glad to do that, Mira. Thanks. So first of all, and actually before I even get into that, I just want to first of all thank Mira and Becca for having me join today and just say what huge fans we are at Heyo of Mad Mimi.
Awesome.
So we're big Mimi fans, and I promise this was not on the agenda that Mira gave me. So we're big fans of Mad Mimi. We use Mad Mimi at Heyo actually for our marketing email, and have been able to do a lot of love the platform, and obviously love the Mimi team, and they provide exceptional customer support. But we've actually been able to do a lot of really cool things with Mimi as well from a marketing perspective. I think I've got like 50 different drip campaigns set up at this point, and I constantly bug the Mimi support team about them. But we love Mad Mimi. So Heyo. Say again?
Well, you should have been here last week.
Yeah.
Drip campaigns.
Oh yeah. Oh really? Oh man, I have a lot to say about drip campaigns. Maybe next time. So real quick, a couple of sound bites about Heyo. So at Heyo, we help small businesses get more leads and sales from social media, and we do that through providing a platform that helps you really easily create social media campaigns. And a campaign might be like a contest or a promotion. So you might want to run a simple giveaway. You might want to run a photo contest that like syncs with Instagram. You might want to just set up like a lead capture page, like you're giving away a free ebook or a free download, or some other piece of digital content. Or there are some other options we offer as well. But basically, Heyo enables our customers who are small businesses to easily create one of these campaign apps or landing pages, and then with one click we publish them to 3 different places: to Facebook as a Facebook app, to the web as a standalone web landing page, and to mobile as a mobile responsive page. So, which is really critical, and hopefully we'll have a chance to talk more about mobile later. But that's you know, in essence what Heyo does. And again, our mission is we're a very small business focused company. As our founder says all the time, and hopefully not offending anybody when I say this, he says, quote, "I don't care about big business," unquote. So we're a very small business focused company, and our mission is, and our purpose is to help businesses essentially turn fans into leads and get more business through social media.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
So I mean, the answer could definitely be everyone, but who do you think would benefit from this? I mean, like, who do you think are there verticals or industries or types of business, you know, besides small, because small is so widely.
Yeah.
But like, who is it?
It's a great question, and we definitely have a breadth of different businesses and industries that use Heyo. I'll speak to a few customer groups that I know are really I guess very present, very lively. So we have a lot of online sellers that use Heyo because, you know, email lists, and you know, most, not all customers, some of our customers are just really focused on like driving engagement and getting people to talk about like a fun buzz, you know, creating some buzz and doing a giveaway. Most of our customers are trying to capture email leads and build their email list. So that's really important for e-commerce and for online selling. Bloggers love us for the same reason. They're looking to build a list, and they're distributing content maybe instead of products, but we have a lot of bloggers that use Heyo to do that. And then more and more we're seeing like local businesses, like brick and mortar businesses, restaurants, hotels. One of my favorite case studies we did earlier this year was an optometrist in Troy, Alabama. So I can't think of anything more like small business than that. So like an optometrist in Alabama that you know, like, put together a really nice, simple sweepstakes and used Heyo for it. And I know they had some really good interaction with our customer care team, and they ran a really successful giveaway and collected. They ended up their campaign converted over 50%. They ended up with over 250 new email leads for their
Wow.
business. Yeah, it was really great. So there are a few groups to kind of give you a flavor, and we've got larger businesses that use us, and like I said, there is a wide breadth, but there are a few groups that definitely are, there's a good population of those folks that use Heyo, and I think when it comes to things like giveaways and promotions, then we're seeing a lot of those folks. One quick note, and I'll try to watch my verbosity. I know I'm taking a long time to answer your question, Mira. One quick note is that probably we see with online promotions and contests, we probably see more of that, obviously, for like B2C, like consumer-focused businesses, like retail and restaurants and hotels.
Yeah.
Whereas like B2B and services, we see doing more like evergreen lead capture, like again, here's a free 10 tips on how to structure a great email or whatever, like some kind of industry guides or content, or join my mailing list, get a free quote from our business, that kind of stuff.
Right,
we
but
see
it's essentially the same thing.
Say again?
It's essentially the same thing.
It is. I guess there are different mechanisms to use to build the list to sort of get more email leads. Yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned. Oh, sorry, Becca.
I just wanted to mention we have a question in our Q&A app from
Awesome.
who just wants to know what kind of a campaign could a brick and mortar store run? Like, if you have sort of an example of how that would work.
Yeah. Great question. So, sorry, what's the person's name?
Dean. It's Dean.
Dean. Okay, so Dean. Dean, great question. So, so as far as brick and mortar businesses go, I would say still the most widely used campaigns by brick and mortar businesses are just a simple giveaway. So what that looks like is, I've got some kind of prize I'm going to give away, and you could call this a giveaway or a sweepstakes. But I've got some kind of prize I want to give away, and it might be a product from my business. It might not. It might be, I might be trying to reach. Targeting is really important with these kinds of campaigns. So if, let's say I'm a local business in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Maybe I'm a restaurant in Albuquerque. I might give away a gift certificate to my restaurant. I might give away event tickets for a local event in Albuquerque. Or I might, maybe I'll give away like free tickets and a gift certificate. So I'm giving away like a free date, to the restaurant or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So basically, like, a simple giveaway. I've got a prize I want to give away, and I'll require, for free, any consumer that I market to. And most of the marketing we see with these campaigns happens via social media. And I would say also close second would be email. Someone sending out in a newsletter or a dedicated email to their email list to message the campaign. But anybody who comes to the campaign landing page through Facebook, through mobile, through web, can opt in by entering their email address for a chance to win, and it ends up being a random draw giveaway at the end. That's still probably the most common type of campaign we see being run by brick and mortar businesses. But it kind of depends on the campaign goals. A giveaway is probably best at just getting a lot of emails.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get more data or just have a lot more brand engagement, the other thing we see a lot of is user-generated content, like a photo contest. So maybe using that same example, the restaurant in Albuquerque, submit a photo of your favorite, spot in Albuquerque and tell us why. So we have like a photo contest app. It's really easy to set that up, and it's really fun too. And it's it's the age of the selfie. People love taking photos of themselves and their friends, right? So like it becomes a really kind of fun thing for people to. I mean, you can do it again from your phone, right? You can enter, snap a photo with your phone, upload it to the contest.
Yeah. So you sort of touched on this already, but there are two directions I kind of want to take this conversation, which is that social and mobile. And so you had mentioned, one example of something that a brick and mortar could do is do any kind of these giveaways that you've explained, but if it's on mobile, they can then grab people from the store, like automatically. They can sign up right there on their phone. But that also helps to grow their social network as well. So, because my question for you was going to be, like, what if I don't have a really strong social network, and I'm kind of looking at all of this social media marketing, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's not for me because I have 5 on Facebook and I never use it. So, what kind of things can you say to people who might have that perspective?
Yeah, great question. So let me, pre-answer your question with a comment, which is that kind of the question. And some people, I think people get social media, and I should say specifically businesses get social media a lot more than today than they did 2, 3, 5 years ago. But there's still a lot of businesses out there that would ask the question, well, why bother? Why get on Facebook? Why get on Instagram? Do I need to Snapchat? Whatever they're asking about.
Right.
And I guess what I'd say quickly about social media is it's kind of a unique space where there's a really strong ability to engage with your audience, right? And the word engage or engagement is kind of buzzy. People say, oh, well, look at the great engagement, But I think Mad Mimi is a great example of this, right? When you guys do amazing customer care through social media. Some of your fans actually come to Facebook, come to Twitter to communicate with you, to either just tell you what a great job you're doing, ask advice, get technical support. And I would say just from a content and also from a product marketing perspective, we see a lot of the same thing with our customers, right? Like social media has become a place where, fans, customers, interested parties can just engage with the brand in more real time, versus I send an email in and, if it's Mad Mimi, I'll get a response in 5 or 10 minutes. If it's somebody else, it's probably going to take a couple of hours, right? But it's going to take some time, and you've got that real-time element on social media. And, Facebook, it's so funny because you read all these articles about how Facebook's not cool anymore. And you know what? Facebook's not cool anymore. My mom's on Facebook. I can't, but over 700 million people log into Facebook every single day, which is a staggering number. So
the fact that your mom is on Facebook is the reason that it's still totally a valid channel.
That's exactly right. And we definitely, Heyo works across multiple social media platforms, but Facebook is still like the behemoth out there in terms of its presence and how many people you can engage with. But to your question, Mira, which is a really good one, so what if I don't have a big following on social media? So I would say a couple things. If you're just growing your social media base, and again, hopefully for these reasons you think social media is a good idea, but if you're just growing your presence on social media, first of all, our campaigns and any good campaign like this will have some good built-in sharing mechanisms to help build virality. So when our giveaway app, for instance, you get excited about the prize, you enter your email address, and you're prompted to like the business on Facebook, share and tweet about the contest. And so we see that working really well. It's pretty amazing where you might see a giveaway contest get 200 impressions and get 100 tweets from those 200 impressions. So even if you have a small population, I would say along with collecting email leads, getting more people to like or follow your business on social media is another great output from running this kind of campaign. And then the second thing I would say is probably the best way of getting the word out. You may not be big on social media. You probably have an audience in other channels you can talk to. Email by far is one of the best ways to communicate with those, to communicate these kinds of contests. And if you're just building your social media presence, don't be afraid to email your existing customers or your existing audience about the campaign. And you might say to yourself, well, I already have their email address. If I'm running this giveaway or this photo contest to get more leads, that doesn't seem to make sense. But you're going to email your existing list, but they're going to have friends that they end up sharing it with, and then they're going to come and enter the contest. So it kind of all builds on top of each other. So I would say, again, these contests are even if you have a small following on social media, they tend to work pretty well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the more the better. And then you've probably got other channels that if you sat and thought about it for a moment, you could leverage to help make the campaign a success and grow that fan base.
Right. It's like your audience itself is a crisscross of users on different platforms, and so no matter how you're telling them about it, they're expanding out into those platforms that they're using. So.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mind bender, but hopefully you guys, hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense.
We do have a blog post that I'll put in the comments once this Hangout goes onto YouTube that sort of goes into some details about, especially between email marketing and social media, how it's actually pretty easy to get those channels to cross and get your email newsletters out on social media and get your social media involved in your email newsletters. And it sounds kind of complicated, but it's actually very easy to do. So we'll send along some directions for that after this.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
great.
Thanks, Becca. We also have a question here for you, Chris, from Arrow Security. And what they're asking is that, we talked a lot about brick and mortar and like retail and business, and even you mentioned earlier on the difference between sort of product-based business versus service-based business. And so the question is about, like, have you seen any social campaigns that have worked especially well for service? Besides the actual retail or brick and mortar that you discussed before.
Yeah, great question. Great question from Arrow Security. So couple of thoughts on that front. So first of all, yes, I have. And on the sort of contest promotion front, when you're in a services business, so let me take a step back. We've got some great content out there and blog posts about just how to run a successful contest or campaign, social media campaign.
That's great.
And which I'm happy to share afterwards if you think it'll be helpful for your audience. But basically, one of the critical points is picking the right incentive or the right prize. And perfect example is, the common thing you see is like win a free iPad, win a free iPod, an i-something. And everybody wants an iPad. My 9-year-old son would love an iPad. So now, I'm just dating myself because now I have a 9-year-old son. But but in any case, you might end up with a lot of leads, which is cool, but very few of them will probably be relevant to your business because anybody would want an iPad. So if you're that brick and mortar location, or if you're the services company specifically, a way to think about this is, you want your prize to be well targeted and be exciting, because you do want it to be compelling. You want people to get excited about it, enter the contest, and share, right? So the example I give often is, let's say I'm a tax accountant, right? And I have like a small accounting practice, and I probably, maybe I do some social media, maybe I'm big on LinkedIn, maybe I do some Facebook, content, and it's nice, and I do some engagement that way. I find that often businesses they kind of default to like, well, I'll give away what I sell or what I do, and and so I had a client recently who was in an accounting agency say, all right, we'll give away a free tax consultation. Now, somebody who's interested in a free tax consultation would be relevant for your business, but that's not a really exciting prize. And I'm not knocking tax accountants. Everybody needs to do their taxes, right? Whether we like it or not. But you want something that's going to get people excited and shareable. And so what we hit on was, well, you want to meet a particular kind of consumer, and you want to meet them, and you want to try to connect with them specifically in your target geography. And so what we hit on was like a free round of golf at the local golf club was a little bit more exciting and got people excited and sharing the contest and the promotion, but was also still really relevant to their target audience, and it worked really well. So I would say if you're going to do that, a contest or a promotion, think a lot about targeting and what the right prize is. And then the other thing I would say is just outside of contests and promotions, more of sort of the evergreen type lead capture works really well in services and in B2B. And what I mean by that is, you might stand up or have like a really nice piece of targeted content. So if you're Arrow Security, and I don't know if that's home security or what kind of security it is, but you might have a piece of content that's like 10 tips for improving security at your business, let's say, and somebody interested in that piece of content would be a great lead. Rather than just asking for a name and an email address, you could set up a page where they could get that free piece of content in exchange for name, email address, business name, industry, and some other data that would help you serve that potential customer better. And you might not get 50, 100, 200 emails in a week. you might get 1, 2, 3 emails per week for over a long period of time, but it can be a really nice new source of leads for your business. And social's a great place to message that kind of campaign.
Yeah, and I really do think that. Sorry. Go ahead, Mary. Were you saying something? Oh, okay.
No.
I was just going to sort of agree that I really find that quality over quantity is really important, and it's good to focus on that, because in contests and email marketing, people are always just, they want the numbers, but when you really sit down and pay attention to who's your biggest fan and who's telling all their friends about you, that one person is much more valuable than 10 people who don't listen at all.
Yeah, that's a great point, Becca. And I think for us, like, we're always trying to help customers balance volume, like, and sort of volume with intent. And for us, it comes down to, like, how much information do you ask for to opt in for your campaign? And the less information you ask for, the more leads you're going to get. 100%. I mean, it's like a law of nature, right? But by asking more information, you might end up getting fewer leads, but they may be higher quality. So that just needs to be kind of balanced out depending on the business.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I do like the volume difference that you described, though, in a campaign that is a contest where there's something cool that people want versus which may not be your services, but then lower volume of leads is like offering a little bit of your service, and then those leads are actually higher quality. So there's this interesting kind of flip, depending on what your goals are, that you should focus in a certain way.
Yeah, and for some businesses, for a lot of businesses, there's a call to do both, right? You probably wouldn't run a contest every single week, but you might run one monthly or quarterly. That just it's a nice event. People get excited about it. You don't want them to burn out. Although that said, there are retail businesses that do really well doing daily giveaways over the course of a whole month, and create a lot of excitement. So, but yeah, there are different ways to basically address that problem of how do I get more leads for my business and build my email list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're sort of like playing with time here, so I don't want to go too long, but so like,
I could talk about this all day. So.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. The next question I have may even be valuable as a topic in and of itself, but
sure.
There's sort of this move, and I've compared Mad Mimi to Heyo in this way, in that there's a move towards platform-style services where you don't have to go out and build everything anymore. You put a bunch of pieces together, and that publishes your stuff. And so I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on that sort of like platform move of services on the internet, but also in marketing in general.
So can I ask you to dig a little deeper into your question, Mira? Is that okay? So when you say platform, can you just maybe elaborate just a little bit for me, just to make sure I give you what you're asking for?
Yeah, absolutely. My analogy for it is more like instead of having to build your stage and then stand on it and talk, we now have pre-built stages that we then just sort of like customize the content a little bit. Everything's pre-designed. It's their themes, their plugins, their visual editors, no code required. So like this marketing yourself online now is so easy because we have these things that are already built that we then put together.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's helpful, and feel free to chime in as I talk here too, Becca and Mira, and give me your thoughts. But I absolutely agree with you, and it's a great time. It's a great time to be in business for that reason. There are amazing tools out there, and I mean, we're no different at Heyo. We use Mad Mimi. We use so many different tools to help us execute on our business and to market our brand and to engage with customers. So there's like I said, it's a great time to be a business and to be in business. When I think about I guess I have a couple thoughts. One is I'm a big fan of tools working well together, and I'm a big fan of making sure that, and I think it can be a little bit daunting for businesses in that, you know, they're out there thinking like, all right, I need a website, and I need to be on social media, and I got to be mobile optimized, and I got to do all this stuff, and I need to send email, and you know, it can be daunting. And I guess what I would say is, you know, I have a couple of thoughts. One is not to be, don't feel overwhelmed. That's easy for me to say. You know, don't feel overwhelmed. It's okay to kind of baby step into this stuff. And I heard this recently, actually, at a conference, and it was I don't remember a lot about the speaker, but I remember this principle, which I loved, and it was dominate, don't dabble. So his whole thing, and this was a small business owner, and his whole thing was, you know, we pick a channel or something specific we want to do well, and we spend time on it. We don't worry too much about the 50 other things that are happening. We spend time on it and make sure that it's going to work for us and that we do it well. And when we're feeling good about it, then we'll move on and say, okay, now we're going to integrate this other channel into the mix. One kind of I guess separate note is, when it comes to social media, I find that, I guess, social and mobile, good platforms out there will integrate really well with both. So, you know, I'll use you guys as an example because you're a ready example and you're right in front of me. We use Mad Mimi for email marketing at Heyo, and you know, we use the social plugins that Mimi offers, which are really great. So when we send out an email newsletter, I've got share buttons right at the top of my newsletter, and it's awesome. And people, guess what? People click on them. They share our content on social media. We have a blog, and it's blog.heyo.com, and we work really hard at putting out good content. And we have, you know, social share features and other features built into that. It's a WordPress blog built into that blog. So I think the good tools that are out there integrate well with social already. The other thing I would bring up that's just, you know, as you're thinking about like stepping through and making, you know, kind of addressing some of these things one at a time, is just to make sure you're being really mindful of mobile. You know, Mira, you and I talked about this a little bit earlier. You know, it's crazy how, and especially as you know, I hate to make it generational, but as you look at like the younger generations that are kind of coming up through the ranks here, everybody's on their phone all the time.
Yeah.
So the latest, I'll use Facebook as an example. The latest, you know, the latest numbers from Facebook is that of their 700+ million active daily users, 48% of them only use Facebook from mobile phones. Period.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat. I got another one for you. Another Facebook stat. This is across all of their active users, not just the mobile-only ones. Across all their active users, the average amount of time that somebody spends on Facebook from a mobile phone is 914 minutes per month. So
wow.
On average, a Facebook user spends 914 minutes per month on their phone, and you know, our campaigns, when you choose a Heyo template, and you whether it's I'm giving away a piece of content, I'm doing a giveaway, I'm doing a photo contest, I'm doing something else, we automatically make a mobile responsive version of that. And it's already built in. So if you use our product and you market your campaign with the smart URL we give you, if somebody clicks on that campaign from a phone, it's going to work. It's going to look great on mobile. And I do think that's really important, no matter whether it's a social campaign or an email or anything else, is that it works well on mobile. And that's definitely something that I just want to call out. It's something I think you really need to make sure you pay attention to.
Yeah, so I guess if you're somebody who's not from like this Facebook generation, but you're looking to start dominating one of the social spheres, Facebook sounds like a really good place to start.
You know, it does. I mean, it's definitely it's still the biggest, most well-trafficked social platform. I mean, it is. But it kind of depends on the business too. Like we've got some nice social apps that are more focused on visual content. So we have an Instagram app, a YouTube app, a Pinterest app, and depending on the business, some of those platforms just might be more relevant. You know, if you're if you're a photographer or an artist, or you're just a fashion designer or a boutique that just is big on Instagram, Instagram might be really, really critical for you. I was talking to a guy recently who is a Heyo customer, and I was talking to one of our valued customers recently, and his business. He's just a guy, and his business is he teaches bar review prep classes to graduating law students. That's his he is the business, and he teaches like a few hundred students a year, and that's it. Like it's one big class,
Right.
And as we're talking about how he can, how he can market himself on social, it comes out that he has like, over 100,000 views on YouTube. He puts out these videos about preparing for the bar, and they get watched all over the world. So YouTube for him is probably the most important channel, and it's a great lead source. So it kind of depends, but for sure Facebook's the biggest. If you're looking to reach a lot of people, Facebook's a good way to do it.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that would be one of the reasons why Heyo is focused on Facebook over other channels.
Yeah. Yes. I would also share this. When you think about how you promote your business or run a campaign on social media, there are two kind of things to think about. One is, where do I publish my campaign, and the other is, where do I promote my campaign? And really, the only places to publish a campaign or a landing page are on the web, and that includes mobile. So a mobile responsive page is also a web landing page, just a mobile version of it. And on Facebook. Facebook allows you to publish a page or an app to Facebook, to your Facebook, as a link on your Facebook page. You can't publish a page to Twitter, you can't publish a page to Instagram or LinkedIn. And then the second thing, again, where do I promote my campaign? I can promote my campaign across any social media channel. I can promote it on Pinterest, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. So for sure, when people talk about, well, I want to run a Facebook giveaway, or I want to run a Facebook promotion, hopefully they're thinking about other social media channels, but Facebook is one of those few places you can actually publish a campaign or a landing page.
Right. It's almost like you're claiming space. It's like you're saying, this part of Facebook is actually mine, and its sole purpose is to publicize my business.
Yeah.
But that's a fabulous service that you're doing to people who may not even have a website or don't have a Facebook product page. You're giving them the ability to have a campaign and claim that space, like, all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I think it's a good way to think about it, and I think a Facebook page, and I would say, Twitter is probably really close second on social media. Like, it's almost become like a must-have.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, we're on Facebook and Twitter, and certainly we're on Facebook. It's kind of right up there with, like, we have a website, in terms of like what a business needs to do to be relevant and to get found, by potential customers.
Really?
Yeah. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, Mad Mimi, the emails. You were talking about how the promotions that you create with Heyo are automatically mobile friendly. So if you go to that URL on a phone, then it would automatically display a mobile friendly version. And I was going to say the trends with email are very similar in that, far and away most email is being read on smartphones now.
Yeah.
And so Mad Mimi also, those emails are designed to show up well on a mobile device.
Yeah, and they for sure are the emails and the newsletters that we send on Mad Mimi look great on mobile, which is so nice. And I've always been a huge fan of the simplicity of the Mad Mimi format. I mean, actually, I think 100% of the emails we send through Mad Mimi, whether it's a welcome email to a new customer or a marketing email or announcing a new blog post, we are using the Mad Mimi composer to build all of those emails.
Nice.
Cool.
That's a great way to do it. Cool.
So
all right. Well, we've run pretty much past the time that we have already allotted, but who cares? It's the internet. There's plenty of it.
I hope we haven't bored anybody. Hope everybody's found a lot of value here.
They've left already. It's okay. They're not still paying attention. But I was going to ask if there's anything, Chris, you've been helping businesses small businesses specifically, market themselves, for a while, and I was wondering if you had any tips or general advice, maybe in the social realm or maybe not, but just sort of words of Chris's wisdom.
Wow, it's a huge question. I have so much to share. So I guess, I gave one piece of advice already, which I really like, and that's the dominate, don't dabble. Like, it can be overwhelming, and I think if you kind of take things one at a time, and as far as marketing your business is concerned, then then you're going to be okay. You're not going to feel overwhelmed, and you're going to be able to really understand what's working well and not working as well for your business. The other thing I always tell our customers that I believe in very strongly is that smart marketers test, and as small business owners, or small business people, we're not experts at everything, right? Like, we got into our business because we love what we do. We love email, or we love making jewelry, or we love baking bread, or we love selling or building security systems, or whatever it is we do. We're really good at that craft, and small business owners tend to really identify with their craft really well, right? But we're not necessarily great accountants. We're not necessarily great marketers. We're not necessarily great HR people. And so often this stuff can be daunting. And I think marketing, again, is no different. So I would say, smart marketers test, and I would recommend not being afraid to invest a little bit of time and even a little bit of budget into trying new things, and not being afraid to, if they work well, invest more time and more effort, and if they don't work so well, move on and test something else, and be okay. It's when you try something, whether it's, hey, I'm gonna start really buckling down and sending a weekly newsletter, or I'm gonna start doing more content on social media, or I'm gonna offer a coupon in the local newspaper. When you try something as a small business, even if it doesn't work, even if you think it's a failure, that's still a success, because you've tried something and you've learned, and now you're narrowing down your tests and getting closer to what's going to work for your business. So smart marketers dominate, don't dabble, and smart marketers test. How's that?
Lovely.
Beautiful. Okay, perfect. Is there anything else that you want to add, or Becca, do you have any questions? We don't have any more Q&As, so.
No, I was gonna pretty much agree with what Chris just said. I like the idea of dominating, and I like the idea of starting where you feel the most comfortable, where you feel you're the most successful, and then building on that and moving forward.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Yeah. That's part of our motto too.
So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Chris, for joining. We've talked about a lot of social media stuff, so it was really fun. Mad Mimi has plenty of tools for you to help market yourself and to integrate your email campaigns with social platforms. And Heyo.com is where you can set up Facebook campaigns that are all mobile optimized and socially shareable.
Well said.
Very nice.
Join us next week, Wednesdays at 4, hanging out with Mimi, and drop us a line. Whatever you want to tell us, we're here. So,
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you later.